Now, focus is completely different from being obsessed. When you're obsessed with your goals, you throw it up on a pedestal and it becomes very easy for those goals to fall down. Focus is more so about having clarity and also understanding where you're trying to get to with your goals. One of our members inside of our live coaching call recently said that focus stands for follow one course until successful, and I absolutely love that. So now, let me give you 5 different techniques to really help you out with the right mindset so that way you're constantly focused on your goals but not obsessed with them. And these 5 different mindset techniques are straight out of our playbook inside of our coaching program at Heartletics. Now, even though Heartletics is a fat loss coaching program where we help our members lose body fat, build lean muscle so that way they have more confidence, have more energy, live their best lives, and truly become the 2.0 version of themselves, we also understand that, hey, the tip of the iceberg is just the physical. You got to focus on all 4 pillars of essentially your well-being, which is your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual as well. Now, I do want to say this. I do not recommend that you try to do all 5 of these different techniques into one morning routine. I recommend just picking 1 or 2 max and really get that as your foundation first, especially if you're somebody that's never really worked on your mindset before. And think about these techniques as almost like the pre-workout to getting your day started. It's going to hype you up, it's going to energize you, and it's going to motivate you, but most importantly, it's going to get you right back in alignment and keep you focused on your goals. The list I'm about to share with you next is going to go from easiest to hardest when it comes to these different techniques, and you'll learn more about that as we progress. But number 1 on the list is going to be gratitude. You can either do this from just scripting and writing out and journaling, just what are some things that you're grateful for. You can do this in a form of, let's say, prayer or meditation where you're just closing your eyes and really thinking about the things that you are grateful for in your life. You can also do this in what I like to say a mental gratitude walk. And this is what I personally like to do at least once or twice a week. And that's where as soon as I wake up, I'll still stay in my bed. I'll have my eyes closed. Now, be mindful. It's very easy to fall right back asleep when doing this exercise. So you have to train your mind to stay alert, stay awake. But essentially what you're doing is you're keeping your eyes closed and you're thinking about 5 things that you're grateful for inside of your bedroom. And then mentally walk into a different room in the house. Think about 5 things you're grateful for. And then mentally go to another room, right? And you continue to do that. And you'll be amazed, right, of all the little things in your life that you never really thought about that you're actually super grateful for. So let's say mentally you walk into your bathroom and it's like, hey, you're grateful for running water. You're grateful for toilet paper. You're grateful for, toothpaste and, all these little things, like maybe even like the hand soap. And it's just like, you never really thought about that. And that's why this is such a powerful exercise to do. But once again, that's just one technique. It could be a form of prayer. It could also be just taking out your journal and writing down just maybe 5, 10, 15 things that you're grateful for every single morning. The second technique is self-reflection, and this is a great one. This is where you're writing down your daily wins. So maybe you're doing it in the evening time, or maybe you're doing it first thing in the morning and you're reflecting on the previous day that you had. And this could be writing down anywhere from 10 to 20 wins, big or small. And what I mean by that is literally any wins at all. This could be doing the dishes. This could be, giving your spouse a hug and telling them that you love them. This could be you getting some steps in or hitting your protein goal. And essentially what you're doing with this self-reflection exercise is you're really getting your subconscious mind about all the things that you're doing right. It's very often for us to look at all the negativity out there or the lack thereof of the things that we want, but we don't actually have right now. And so it's like when we can truly look back and say, man, what are we doing right? Rather than all the things that we're doing wrong, it also helps us not just have a winner's mindset, but it helps us to have more confidence in ourselves as well. The third technique is one of my favorites, and this is visualization. Now, this is where you pretty much need to be crystal clear on your goals. And hey, this video is talking all about staying focused anyways. So you want to make sure to essentially write out what are your goals. Maybe that's for you want to see the number on the scale go down. Or maybe it's fitting into those pair of pants that you haven't fit into in months or years. Maybe it's going to the doctors and getting a clean slate where, hey, they're telling you that you're off your blood pressure and cholesterol medications. Whatever your goals are, right? You want to spend that time visualizing it, and it doesn't have to be long at all. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, and that's what I, truly recommend. Sometimes when you try to visualize way too long, you start just kind of getting a little bit like carried away and almost like sleepy and not really focused essentially on your goals. So when you keep the visualization technique very short, very simple, and crystal clear on what you want, it's once again helping you stay focused on where are we trying to get to? What do we need to do today to be one step closer to that 2.0 version of ourselves? The fourth mindset technique is affirmations. And I'm a huge fan of affirmations, but I know a lot of guys struggle with it. And so I want to give you different analogies on how to think about it. So I'm a big believer that, hey, your thoughts become your reality. In fact, even in the Bible, it says death and life are found in the power of the tongue. And so it could be essentially verbally speaking or your internal thoughts. And so affirming to yourself just some simple practices, right, can really help change your subconscious thinking. The reason why it's hard for most guys to start saying affirmations is because they don't really truly have that connection with themselves. They don't have a great relationship with themselves. Maybe they don't trust themselves. They don't feel worthy of themselves. They don't truly love themselves. It's very easy to tell your kids like, hey, good job, you did great today at school, or, say congratulations to your spouse when they get a promotion at work. But how often do we tell ourselves that we're good and we're proud of ourselves? How often do we tell ourselves like, hey, congratulations, I love you, right? And stare at ourselves in the mirror, say that to ourselves? Very rare. And that's why most guys, it's very uncomfortable for them to do it. But hear me out. This is one of the most powerful techniques you can ever do with your mindset and really help change your mindset from a more negative state to a more positive state. I like to say it like this, is that life's always going to throw curveballs your way. Some of them, it's like, hey, they might really kind of break us down and bring us down to our knees. But those internal conversations that we're having with ourselves, this is what really can uplift us and really makes us stronger in the end. So if you're somebody that has not yet started saying affirmation to yourself, I recommend that you start off small. Start off saying some things like, hey, I'm capable of being the best. I can do this today. It doesn't have to be this woo-woo mindset nonsense type of affirmations. It could be just words that are more powerful. That's, once again, just going to help us be a little bit more motivated to be 1% better than who we were yesterday, so that way we can still stay in alignment and be focused on our goals. And the fifth and final mindset technique is meditation. And by far, this is one of the hardest ones, but probably has the best and biggest ROI, the return on your investment, because of how powerful it truly is. I mean, if you think about it, some of these monks that's up in the Himalayas, right, they're some of the most peaceful, calm, cool, collective, right, most enlightened people that's out there. And it's because they clear themselves of all these distractions. And what do I mean by that? Well, meditation helps you get into the present moment. And there's so many different ways to meditate, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But essentially, once again, meditation helps you get right back into the present moment. You're not worried about the future, right? You're not worried about the past. Typically, when we're worried about the future that, things haven't happened yet, or it's way off there, or, worried about the past, this is where we're going to get the worry, the doubt, the fear, the anxiety, all these different negative emotions that we just don't want. So what meditation does, it helps you get calm, cool, collective, relaxed, and once again, back into, I like to say, homeostasis with just the present moment. Multiple ways that you can meditate. For starters, just focusing on your own breath work, right? Turning off all distractions, maybe putting in some, headphones with some binaural beats to listen to, where it's just no lyrics, just lo-fi beats, and just closing your eyes, breathing in through your nose, 4 to 7 seconds, holding your breath 4 to 7 seconds, releasing out of your mouth 4 to 7 seconds. That's one way, okay? Another way is go on YouTube. Right? There's plenty of different guided meditations that you can listen to. There's some for goal setting. There's some for visualization. There's some for, gratitude. There's so many different guided meditations that you can find that's out there. Different voices, different lengths. Some are 5 minutes. Some are 10, 15, 20. There's even sleeping meditations that you can literally pop in your headphones, fall asleep, and listen to a guided meditation to really get into your subconscious mind. But the reason why I'm telling you all this is because at the end of the day, there's not a right way and there's not a wrong way to meditate, right? All you essentially want to do is, once again, just kind of stop all the noise in your head. And it's extremely difficult, and that's why it's number 5 on the list here. It's extremely difficult to do, especially if you're not used to it. I've been meditating now for over 10 plus years. And when I first got started, this was the hardest thing in the world for me to do because essentially every time I closed my eyes and kind of stopped, what was going on, I would have the most random thoughts over and over and over again. And it seemed like I could never shut off my brain. And it honestly took me, right, because I would always need a guided meditation. It took me 8 years of doing guided meditations before I could actually just meditate with just binaural beats and focusing on my breath, where I didn't need somebody's voice to guide me through the meditated state. No, I can actually do it all by myself now. So it just goes to show you that it's a practice. But once again, it has one of the biggest and best ROIs, return on your investments, because it can truly help you just get in a state of peace, state of bliss, and also get your perspective, your focus back on the present moment. So if you're constantly focusing on, let's say, your goals, and you're like, oh, I want to lose the 20 pounds, and I want this to happen tomorrow because we live in this Amazon Prime world, right? We lose the patience. So what does meditation do? It really helps you say, okay, hey, what are we going to do today to just be 1% better than who we were yesterday and get one step closer to our goals? That's it. And have patience. Be more in a state of peace, knowing that, hey, it's all going to work out in the end. We will eventually get there. And once again, guys, these are just 5 different mindset techniques that we personally like to use for our members inside of our coaching program. I once again recommend that you do not try to incorporate all 5 into a morning routine. Start off with just 1 or 2. And remember, what works good for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And essentially, what works really good for you doesn't mean it's going to work the best for somebody else. We're all different. Just like different body types, right? Need different workouts, need different macronutrients. Essentially, our mindset as well. You will know when you found a winner because it's going to help you just feel a little bit more motivated and inspired to get one step moving towards your goals. So that way, once again, you're staying focused, right? Eyes on the prize. So if you think about it, let's just use gratitude, for example. Let's say I'm doing my morning gratitude journal and I'm immediately thinking about all the things I'm grateful for in my life. So I write down in my journal how I'm grateful for my legs. Well, now it's like, okay, cool. It's like I have these legs. Let's use them to the best of our ability. Let's go get our steps in. Or like, hey, I'm grateful for the fact that I have a gym membership. Let's go to the gym. What that's also doing is changing up the perspective. So now instead of me saying I have to do this, it doesn't become a chore anymore because let's face it, nobody ever wants to do a chore. They have to work out or have to eat healthy. Nobody wants to do that. That's not going to stick long term. Instead, it's I get to. Because the reality is like, hey, some people, they don't have a gym membership. Some people out there in this world, they don't have legs. So it's like I'm looking at it from a perspective of gratitude, but also it's like, hey, I get the opportunity to do this. And that's, once again, going to fuel me, make me feel a little bit more motivated to start getting my steps in, to show up to the gym and get a workout in. And once again, that's all in alignment with staying focused on my goals. So I really hope that you guys got a lot of value from today's video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know your biggest takeaway. And if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you did. As always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.